Have you ever wondered why life sometimes feels so heavy or why certain things people say hurt so badly? Now imagine if four simple principles could change the way you think, feel and handle life challenges. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tenny Charles. I talk about self-improvement, productivity and minimalism. Today I thought of sharing The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, a book that has personally changed my life and can do the same for you. Before we dive into the book, let's take a minute to talk about the author of this book. Don Miguel Ruiz is a Mexican author and spiritual teacher who combines ancient Toltec wisdom with practical advice for modern life. His book, The Four Agreements, has become a timeless guide for personal freedom and peace. Drawing on Toltec spiritual beliefs, he offers insights that break through common misunderstandings and mental traps we fall into daily. Basically, this tiny book talks about four simple principles that could change anybody's life. Agreement number one, be impeccable with your words. Your words are so powerful that it's capable of hurting or healing, creating peace or chaos. Be impeccable with your word means speaking with integrity, kindness, and truth. Think about this. How often do we criticize ourselves or others? When I first read this, I realized how quick I was to say things like, I'm terrible at this, or I always mess things up. But once I started being more mindful of my words, I noticed a shift. When I said positive things, even about small moments, I began to feel more confident and peaceful. It's about avoiding gossip or choosing to lift others up instead of tearing them down. If you can't say something good, consider being silent. The impact is enormous, not just on others, but on your own peace of mind. Imagine a world where our words only created positivity. This agreement is the first step towards reality. The second agreement, don't take anything personally. Ruiz explains what others say is a reflection of their own inner world, not yours. He also encourages us to see the world as a mirror. We're often seeing parts of ourselves reflected back. So if someone is harsh or critical, it's likely a reflection of their own struggles, not a judgment of who we are. For instance, if someone criticizes or insults you, it's easy to take it to heart. I used to feel deeply hurt by criticism, especially in my work life. But as I practiced this agreement, I realized that other people's reactions were about them, not me. By not taking things personally, I stopped carrying unnecessary emotional burdens. But this doesn't mean that we ignore all feedbacks, but rather that we don't let it control how we feel about ourselves. Their opinions doesn't define us. It just mirrors their own experience. Let their opinions stay with them and protect your peace. Agreement number three, don't make any assumptions. Making assumptions is one of the biggest sources of unnecessary pain in our lives. We often create stories in our mind, assuming we know everything what others think or feel. Ruiz encourages us to avoid assumptions and instead ask questions and clarify. By choosing not to sit on assumptions and clarify directly, we can prevent misunderstanding and ease so much stress. If you're unsure, ask. Clear communication brings peace and understanding. And number four, always do your best. This last agreement ties everything together beautifully. Ruiz says that in any situation, give your best effort, whatever best looks like in that moment. Your best will change. It's different when you're feeling great compared to when you're tired or going through a tough time. But if you always strive to do your best, you will live without regret or self-blame. I used to be a perfectionist, always pushing for more and more. I always felt that it was never enough. But as I applied this principle, I learned that doing my best didn't mean perfection. It meant sincere effort regardless of what the outcome was. Imagine the peace that comes when you realize that you've given your best in any moment. This agreement encourages self-acceptance and reminds us to be kind to ourselves. Reading the four agreements actually changed the way I approached everyday life situations. I became more mindful of my words, more resilient to criticism, and better at letting go of assumptions. I also learned to accept my efforts knowing that doing my best was enough. These agreements brought a sense of peace and clarity I hadn't felt before, and I believe they can do the same for you. The beauty of these four agreements is that they're very simple, but they're also challenging in the real life, because when we go out in the real world, we're going to face all these challenges every day. They offer a way to free ourselves from negativity, stress, and misunderstanding that weigh us down. Imagine living a life where you got control over your words, you're resilient on criticism, and you don't assume things. And also, you give your effort every day, not expecting much. That's the life reading and implementing these four agreements will help you achieve. Before I conclude, let me tell you one thing. Book summaries are amazing, but they don't give you the insight of the entire book. This book has a lot more to tell you than these four agreements. Pick up this book and read it at least once in your lifetime. Not only you read it, try to apply them in your life. We often talk about a lot of skills and habits that we need to develop across all the other areas of our life, especially during our professional life, about like our computer skills, our AI skills, or whatever it is. But these are the four basic skills that any human being has to develop in life. Once if you master this, believe me, you're going to lead a very peaceful life. Doesn't mean that the moment you finish this book, your life is going to change. No book will change you like that. It takes time because all these habits are things that you developed over a very long period of time. So it is going to take time, but you have to keep practicing it every day. Thank you for being here. Please do stay subscribed, be a part of our journey. Thank you so much.